Now, let me go to the economic support of the international network. No terrorist group can operate effectively without an international network or even a domestic network. So they must constantly do propaganda, to do recruitment, radicalization, fundraising, procurement, safe houses, travel, transportation, multiple identities, training, and initial surveillance and reconnaissance, rehearsal, and attack. So this is the attack cycle, right? Without support, there cannot be operational activity. So most of the Tamil Tiger officers overseas, or for that reason, officers of Hamas, Hezbollah, Al Qaeda, ISIS overseas, what did they do? They engaged in propaganda, fundraising, procurement, and shipping. Right? These are the four main activities, and they will operate under different names. They will operate under different names because they know if they operate as Al Qaeda or Tamil Tigers, they'll be arrested. For example, Al Qaeda operate in the UK as Advice and Reformation Council in Neasden, in Cricklewood, office that I had seen from far away. Because I wrote my thesis on migrant and diaspora support for international terrorism at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland. And I was very fortunate to have Bruce Hoffman as my supervisor. He's a professor at Georgetown University, and Paul Wilkinson, who is the founder of the terrorism discipline in the UK, was my internal supervisor, and my external supervisor was Professor Gerard Chalion, Frenchman who passed away recently, and he's the most published scholar on terrorism in his lifetime. You can see when a terrorist attack happens, the cost of it. For example, the 9/11 attack, million people died in Iraq and Afghanistan in response to US operations. So our main focus is to prevent and preempt attacks. And you are the new generation of the world, and you should also do everything possible to promote moderation, toleration, and coexistence in communities, so that communities will not become exclusivist. Because if you're exclusivist, there's a risk you will become extremist, then you'll go into violence and terrorism. So you must promote the ideas of moderation, toleration, and coexistence, so that violence will not be the answer to the problems we have. So in parallel with building counterterrorism capabilities, I want to ask you, your generation, to build platforms for negotiation, mediation, arbitration, for conflict management. This is what the world should invest more in. Because the fighting terrorism, the kinetic response, the lethal response should be 5% or less. 95% it should be community engagement. That is where the world has faced, because we have invested too much in military capabilities, right?